Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to this Royal Rumble preview predictions video. I'm really excited for this event. It's got to be one of the most exciting Royal Rumbles I can ever remember. You really could make a case for one of several people winning it. I do think there's a slight concern though, and that is that the person that wins it, I think, is already going to have to be in some kind of feud. WrestleMania is not going to have any room for any additional matches. So that has swayed my thoughts a little bit, but we'll get to that when we get to the Rumble. So this card is stacked. First up on the pre-show, we have Sheamus and Cesaro, the Raw Tag Team Champions, defending against Gallows and Anderson. I think the build for this has been good. I don't see any reason to change course. I would keep the titles on Cesaro and Sheamus. I would like to see Gallows and Anderson win them at some point this year. I'd like to see them go into a feud where they absolutely dominate. I want to see them really built up, and then hopefully as we're getting around Survivor Series, you know, there's something to do with Balor Club or Bullet Club or something along those lines. Doesn't sound like Kenny Omega's going to actually be coming into WWE now from New Japan, which is really disappointing. That was one of the big surprises I think we were all hoping to see in this year's Rumble. But anyway, all of that to one side. I would keep the titles on Sheamus and Cesaro for now, but build up Gallows and Anderson. Next match, Sasha Banks against Nia Jax. Nia Jax needs this win. She is a monster. She needs to be kept looking like a monster. Sasha's just come off the back of winning, you know, the women's title 2-3 times. I can't even remember. It went back and forth that often. But I do think that she could now help get Nia, you know, over, if you will. You know, Nia Jax hasn't really feuded with anybody. I think, didn't she have a little feud with Alicia Fox? I was going to say Alicia Keys then, that would have been amazing. I think she had a little feud with Alicia Fox, which didn't really do anything. And yeah, I think that she needs a big win, and this would be that win, so I'm going to go with Nia Jax. Next up, we've got a weird match which I think just exists to showcase all of the women they can from SmackDown. You've got Becky Lynch, you've got Nikki Bella, you've got Naomi going up against Alexa Bliss. Mickie James, who's back, obviously was revealed to be La Luchadora, and Natalya, so it's 3-on-3. Really doesn't matter who wins. There's nothing on the line here. Disappointing, actually, that this is the match they've gone with. So I'll go with the heels. I'll go with Alexa Bliss, Mickie James, Natalya. I think it makes sense to give those guys the win. And certainly Mickie James just coming, you know, back. Be good to give her a win on a big stage. Next, I've got Charlotte against Bayley. Charlotte retains, no doubt in my mind. They are not going to throw away that record, that pay-per-view record that she's got, that streak, you know, which is very impressive. They're not going to throw that away now. Maybe they throw it away at WrestleMania, but not here. So I expect Charlotte to beat Bayley. Next up, I've got Kevin Owens against Roman Reigns in that shark cage no DQ match. I think Owens retains. I think he's done a good job. I don't see any need for them to switch, you know, the belts. I think that Owens, you know, they're going to build towards that Owens-Jericho match at WrestleMania, and so I think that it would be good if the title was on the line for that as well. I don't think there's any room to have a Universal Championship match, a WWE Championship match, a US title match, Intercontinental title match, the tag team titles, the women titles, and then throw in a feud. You know, you've got to have the Undertaker match in there somewhere. You've got to have Brock Lesnar. You've got to have Goldberg. You know, I just don't think you can have Owens versus Jericho without it being for some kind of title. So I think Kevin Owens finds a way and retains. Next, we've got Rich Swann against Neville. Neville has been built up to look like this unstoppable force. If they're going to keep the title on the tag team guys, if they're going to keep the title on Charlotte, if they're going to keep the title on Kevin Owens, then I think the Cruiserweight title changes. I think Rich Swann's done okay. I was a little disappointed in his run, to tell the truth. I would have liked a few more fireworks, but I think Neville's going to bring legitimacy to that title. He's obviously an established star. He's probably, arguably, the biggest name on that 205 roster. It's probably not even arguably, is it? He's head and shoulders above everyone else, even the likes of Brian Kendrick, Sin Cara, so on, so on. So, I think they go with Neville, and I think it's the right move. Final match I've got here, and it really could be match of the night, AJ Styles against John Cena. I think Styles retains. I think there's going to be a lot of retaining on this card. I say that because I think that you need to have Styles in a main event match at WrestleMania. I don't think there's time for a feud to kind of grow. I mean, they could put the belt on Cena and then have the rematch at WrestleMania, but I don't know, WrestleMania is still a good few months away, so I would just keep the title on Styles, and then I think that we go to some kind of fatal four-way maybe at WrestleMania. I could see them doing something along the lines of Styles versus Miz versus Cena versus Corbin, something along those lines. So we'll have to see, but I think Styles retains. So that brings me to the Royal Rumble match, and let's get the big one out of the way. Finn Balor. I am 50-50 on this. I think if he's in this, he wins this, and he would be my pick, but I don't think they're going to rush him back. The more I look at this, the more I think about it, the more I look at how the WrestleMania card seems to be coming together, the more I just think they don't need him. Not when you've got Brock, Goldberg, Undertaker, Cena, Styles. You know, there's just so much going on at the moment. It couldn't be any more different from last year's WrestleMania. So if there's any doubt, I don't see why they rush him back. They simply don't need to. They don't have to. So I'm 50-50 on it. If he's in it, I think he wins it. But I'm not sure that we see him. Someone that I do think we see, though, is Samoa Joe. I hope we see him. He deserves a call-up. He deserves to be on the main roster. He deserves a really good showing in the Rumble. He could be very much what AJ Styles did last year, you know. I think we see Triple H, because I think Seth Rollins is going to interfere and cost Triple H that opportunity. I hope, and this is the one I'd love to see, Tyler Bate. Tyler Bate, the current UK champion. Why would you not have the current UK champion on that card in that match? He is a champion, a WWE champion. So why would you not put Tyler Bate in the Rumble? If Tyler Bate's in it, I'm cheering for him till the cows come home, right? And there's no cows, they're not coming home. I don't even know what that means, but I want Tyler Bate to win the Rumble. That's not my pick, but I do think he stands a really good job of being a surprise entrant. But for me, I think the winner is this guy right here, Chris Jericho. Now, if you saw the video we did the other day where we went through the NXT TakeOver cards, just by absolute chance, Jericho was selected as the card to go in that frame, and we kind of find ourselves coming back to it because that's the person I think they'll go with. I think the WrestleMania card is absolutely stacked. I mean, I've written down here how it's kind of shaping up. I think we see Triple H versus Seth. I think we see Undertaker versus Braun, and I think Braun will cost Undertaker in the Rumble, which is how they will then be on a collision course. You know, it was meant to be Undertaker Cena. The rumours are that's not happening. The rumours are now that Vince wants Undertaker to build stars. I think we see Undertaker Braun this year, Undertaker Balor next year, and Undertaker is done. I think next year will be his last WrestleMania. We know we're seeing Big Show versus Shaquille O'Neal. I think we'll see Goldberg versus Lesnar at WrestleMania. We're going to see Kevin Owens versus Jericho. We know that's going to happen. There's no room for this to not be for the Universal title. And for that reason, that's why I'm going with Kevin Owens retaining and Chris Jericho winning the Rumble, because that match is going to have to be for a belt. It could be for the US title, but this is a massive feud, these guys, when they do collide, if it is the end of that friendship, that will be the culmination of one of the biggest stories and longest told stories that WWE have committed to in a long, long time. This thing's been building now since, was it SummerSlam? Maybe just before SummerSlam? You know, and that whole friendship and, you know, are they going to break up and they're not going to break up, and they've teased it a few times. I think they do break up. I think the whole thing does explode. I think it becomes very toxic. I think you've got the Universal Champion on one side, the Royal Rumble winner on the other side, former best friends. It's a really big story to tell. I think it's a marquee match, and that's why I think they'll go with Chris Jericho. I know a lot of people like to predict Final Four. I couldn't do it. I mean, I honestly, I couldn't do it. I think Triple H would be in there, and I think Seth comes down really towards the end and costs Triple H. It could even be it comes down to Jericho and Triple H, with Seth coming down and costing Triple H the win, and that's how Jericho steals the victory, if you will. So I could see them doing something along those lines, but there's a few curveballs in here, and by no means do I think this is nailed on. This is just right now what I think they will do. They could totally go with Undertaker, completely swerve us all. They could go with Goldberg. They could go with anyone. It is going to be awesome. So I'd love to know your thoughts. Drop it in the comments below. If you like the video, please give it a like. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. Hopefully I'll see you again next time. Enjoy the Rumble.